Good evening, everyone. And before I call tonight's council meeting to order, I would like to administer the oath of office to our newest council member, Mr. Dan Ritchie. Mr. Ritchie, would you please come forward to the podium, please? Ritchie, I ask that you raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I, Daniel Ritchie,
I, Daniel Ritchie,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I am a citizen of the United States
that I am a citizen of the United States
and the state of Washington,
and the state of Washington,
and that I am legally qualified
and that I am legally qualified
to assume the office
to assume the office
of West Richland City Council Member, Position 6,
of West Richland City Council Member, Position 6,
and that I will support the Constitution
and that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the state of Washington,
and the state of Washington,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties of this office
discharge the duties of this office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, council members. If I may invite you to take your seat at the dais. Please. All right. All right, well, thank you all. And I will now call the meeting of the West Richland City Council to order at 6:02 p.m. And congratulations once again to Councilmember Ritchie. So before we get started, I'm going to ask our city clerk, Stephanie Haug, to read the hybrid meeting ground rules and then call the roll for city council.
Tonight's meeting will be held in person with a virtual meeting component. If you are participating virtually, please make sure the name shown at the bottom of your video view is the name you would like the mayor to use. You can change this by right-clicking on your video view and selecting Rename. Audience members present in the council chambers will be called upon first during public comment periods. Those participating remotely should virtually raise their hand if they wish to speak. To virtually raise your hand, click on Participants and then click on Raise Hand. If you are participating by phone only, press *9 to raise your hand. Please limit comments to 3 minutes. Okay, roll call. Fred Brink.
Here.
Richard Bloom.
Here.
Cole.
Here.
David Fetto.
Here.
Kate Moran.
Present.
Dan Ritchie.
Here.
John Smart.
Here.
Joker.
Here. And now next, thank you, Stephanie. And now next on the agenda, Councilmember Fetto, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilmember Fetto. Council, an agenda is before you. Are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, I'd like to pull item 6E.
And move it to the section 8, correct? So, Council, we will make a modification with your approval to move the item 6E to item 8A. Are there any other changes? Hearing none, Council, do I have a motion to approve the amended agenda?
I move to approve the amended agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the amended agenda. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All in favor, say no. All opposed? Let's say no. Yeah, it's good I have you next to me, John. All right, motion carries. We have one presentation this evening. It is a proclamation for National Reading Month. And so what I'd like to do is read the proclamation and then invite a representative from the Kennewick chapter of the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution to come forward as soon as I'm done reading it, please. So proclamation, whereas reading is a fundamental skill that allows individuals to explore worlds beyond their own, expand their imagination, and develop critical thinking skills necessary for success in life. And whereas March is designated as National Reading Month to motivate Americans of all age to read every day in honor of the birthday of our beloved children's author, Dr. Seuss. And whereas research has shown that literacy skills begin to develop at birth, and that reading regularly is linked to positive mental health, cognitive development, and lifelong learning. And whereas cultivating a love for reading prepares young minds for academic success, improves vocabulary, fosters empathy and creativity, and whereas the National Society, Daughters of the American Revolution, Kennewick chapter, is committed to fostering a community of readers and encouraging families to read together daily. So therefore, I, Fred Brink, Mayor of West Richland, Washington, do hereby proclaim March 2026 as National Reading Month. So may I invite you, please? Here we go. Another photo op.
Daughters,
All right. And if you'd like to hold that, please.
if you don't mind, they come up.
Absolutely. Come on up. And what's
Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you very
really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Would you like to say words for 1 minute to council?
Well, unprepared, but we have been giving out books in the city of West Richland since September of last year. This year alone, we have given, I think, around 600 to Little Free Libraries. We started a project last year which was to just support the Kennewick Boys and Girls Club Little Free Library. That ended up with us giving over 6,000 books to all the Little Free Libraries in the Tri-Cities. So we're pretty happy with it, and we think that it's a great project, and we're pushing it through for America 250. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right, council, we will move on to the consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda includes approving the minutes of the regular meeting, February 17, 2026, and the special meeting, February 10, 2026. Ordinance 03-26, zoning code amendments establishing definition for a secure transition facility and allowing as a conditional use in light industrial district. Resolution 1026 relating to surplus body-worn cameras. Resolution 1126 authorizing the mayor to execute the Second Amendment to the reimbursement agreement with Frank Teagues LLC. And then motion to award the SR 224 Red Mountain Vicinity Improvement Phase 2 project. Is there anyone from the audience that would like to comment with regard to the consent agenda? If so, please come to the podium, state your name and address. And seeing no one present, is there anyone attending virtually who would like to comment on the consent agenda? If so, please raise your virtual hand. City clerk will then unmute you, and you kindly state your name and city of residence for the record and provide comments. You may also press *9 to raise your hand via telephone. Stephanie, I do not see anyone. Do you see anyone?
I do not see anyone, no.
All right. Council, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries. Thank you, council. This is the first opportunity for citizen comment for items not on the agenda. So if anyone present here would like to provide comments, I ask you to kindly come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Good evening, Terry Davies, and I live on South Lake in West Richland. And I just wanted to make some comments of appreciation and encouragement. I appreciate the visibility that the city and the council and the police department have on social media. That's very helpful. So I do appreciate that information. And then I'm not going to get the words right, so I'm cheating here a little bit. But I did notice today, thank you, Chief, for the conference that was held here. Was it last week for the FBI Law Enforcement Executive Development Association? Coming from a family of law enforcement officers, I appreciate that. And I appreciate the continued leadership in the role that the city and the police department are taking. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Davies. Is there anyone else who would care to comment? All right, seeing none. Is there anyone attending virtually who would like to provide a comment? If so, please raise your virtual hand. City Clerk will unmute you and you will have 3 minutes to provide your comments. Once again, I kindly ask that you state your name and residence for the record. You may also press *9. And I just wish to remind anyone who may wish to comment that council cannot respond to questions during the comment period. Is there anyone attending virtually that would care to make a comment? Stephanie, I do not see anyone. Do you?
I do not.
Thank you. So we'll move on at this point to ordinances, resolutions, motions, and public hearing. We have Resolution 12-26, amending the master fee schedule, which was moved from the consent agenda for discussion. So Councilmember Bloom, you requested this. I would ask you to open comments, please.
Yes. The reason I pulled this is, and I had extensive discussions with Mr. Mendenhall. What this amendment does is it makes the additions that most of the residents would actually undertake unto themselves unclear, because it references an unavailable document, which is the current building valuation data. It's not available on the website. It's not available, easily available. It isn't clear what year it's going. And I assume it's just simply, it really doesn't address, it doesn't address these types of structures per se, but it gives an inference of it. And my experience where I think it was being applied to me, but was corrected back to what's shown in the ordinance. I don't object to changing the number. I just want a number there. I mean, that's the bottom line. And here's, I brought what I think Mr. Mendenhall never confirmed. This is the table that is being referenced. Yeah, I think there's enough. Is there enough? Okay. And as best I can tell, based on, this is Richland's version, which they have on their website. What were being applied for, if you read footnote, which I highlighted the footnotes, private garages and use utility miscellaneous. The orange is for a VB VA would be a structure requires fire suppression, meaning it would be the applicable private garage for an attached garage, which would have to have fire separation to the house. But and this type of table is used in maybe 50% of the utility of the communities I could find online. Others basically follow strict IBC code, which is the person who submits the permit tells them how much the valuation is, how much it's going to cost. So if you have a bid, you would pay the permit fee based on the bid. And as the discussion I find, I checked with my neighbors both had pole barns put up within the last year, and the going rate was $55 a square foot. That's what and it was contracted. Mr. Mendenhall said somebody else did it at $70 a square foot. It all depends on what you're doing. But to me, $70 a square foot, I mean, $80 a square foot, we said, but $69.64 is a little high for a pole barn. And so I just request that we put a number based on actual, not many places will let you build a pole barn. And so that's where I've come down to, is I believe we should have a number in the fee schedule. And the same thing for, I'm not quite sure how we would apply it to the, what the number would be. He came up with a reference. I don't know what it would be referred to for a gazebo or a carport or a deck. And our current number for a deck was consistent with what Mr. Mendenhall provided me for reference of what a deck costs. So I guess I don't see a need for changing the numbers on those, but I'd like specific numbers in the fee schedule, not reference to a non-available document.
I will ask Mr. Mendenhall to respond, and then we'll seek a motion for further discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I did respond to Mr. Bloom on this, and we do utilize that same document. It's from the IBC. It's the current building valuation data that is used. And I did some research on this. And fortunately, one of my planning commissioners, unbeknownst to me, I called him because he's just a real estate agent and might have some kind of ballpark figures for me. So I reached out to him, asked him, and he says, well, I'm submitting a building permit right now for a 2,000 square foot garage, and it's going to cost him to build on his own $160,000, which is in the ballpark of $80 a square foot. But the idea with this is that we're charging what the market would charge, so what a contractor would charge for it. And that would add another 20%. So that is pushing about $100 a square foot for the garage that he's building. It is true that there are different values in the different structures and types, but this is to standardize, to try to make it simplified for our staff when we're trying to figure out what the cost is, and to be similar to the neighboring jurisdictions. And as Mr. Bloom reiterated, about 50% of the jurisdictions he looked at, and those that I've been looking at, most of them are charging based on the current building valuation data. So looking at this, we're trying to standardize this. I also looked at what would the difference be between on 1,000 square foot structure of what the building permit change would be for plan review fee for that. And the actual fee is close to in the ballpark of $200 that we're talking about here is the difference. The planning or the building department is not a profit generating department. We're just trying to cover costs with what it costs us to do the plan review, to go out and do all the inspections. Some buildings we're able to go out and get a few inspections and it's done and we don't have to worry about it. There's others they're specifically the ones that are the homeowners that are building it require a lot more inspection visits and being able to go in and kind of mentor them as they're going through the building process to make sure that the buildings are being built correctly. So again, this is just to try to standardize it. Not everybody's building inspects equally. Nobody builds it equally. But we have to be able to come up with a standardized process for this. And this is the standardized process that most jurisdictions use for these. To address the outbuilding that I want to say a pagoda, but it's not the pagoda. What was it you said? A gazebo. That is actually in the master fee schedule and has a discounted rate. It's like 50% the current building valuation data. So it's in there. We cover that. And again, this is just to try to standardize it. I understand what you're trying to get at with putting just a dollar figure in there, so it's easier. We will be posting this on the city webpage this week so that people can access it on the building site of our website and can download the current building valuation data. And if we put the actual dollar number in there, it's going to require us to update this master fee schedule every time it gets updated, the current building valuation. So again, we're trying to keep up with the economy and the increase of cost to employ people, increase of cost to do business. So that's the purpose behind this. The last time this was updated was in 2017. So that $45 a square foot is based on 2017 numbers from the current building valuation, the IBC.
Thank you, Mr. Mendenhall. Council, may I have a motion on this item, please?
I move to pass Resolution 12-26, amending the master fee schedule.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Council members, please raise your card. Others may wish to speak. All right, Mr. Bloom.
Richland puts a specific number out on their website. They don't use the reference to this. And I guess my question comes down to is, how would you apply footnote B of that schedule, which you have, which says for shell-only buildings deduct 20%? How would that apply? I misspoke about gazebo. I was talking about the patio covers and carports.
Given that I wasn't provided that question or information before the meeting, I don't know how to answer that question for you right now, sir. And I wasn't provided a copy of what you handed out, so I don't know.
I provided it twice to you.
Was that one of the links that you sent?
One of the links and one of it was embedded in the email I sent you.
Again, I'm not prepared to answer that. I'd have to refer to the building official who's not here or present. That question wasn't presented previously.
Councilmember Moran.
Thank you. So it sounds like, other than a few exceptions, which it sounds like City of Richland is one of them, for the most part, most of the cities that both of you had researched, they do it this way that you're showing in this right now. And you are going to have the current building valuation data on the website within the next week or so that people can look up that number. I think specifically that, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Councilmember Bloom or Mayor Pro Tem Bloom, that you were referring to this footnote B, but this is specifically for the city of Richland, so I'm not sure that would apply to West Richland.
It's the same table
yeah.
that for all
That's the current
municipalities.
building valuation data that
Okay,
document
it
was
just had
provided, I
city
presume.
of Richland, I wasn't sure. Okay. So it sounds like there would be an issue if we were to have a number specifically put into the master fee schedule because it changes so much. Is that accurate?
It changes twice a year, so I'd have to prepare documents twice a year and bring back to council and have discussion with council on getting it passed or not.
Okay. All right, thank you.
we do have multiple fees and things like Roscoe's got, indexing that increases things as costs go up every year. So there's some automated increases that are built in here so that we don't have to waste staff time and drawing up staff reports just to update fees based on increase in costs.
Seeing no other comment from council members, we have a motion to approve Resolution 1226, amending the master fee schedule. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All in favor, say no.
Nay.
Opposed? Oh, God. All in favor? Who's opposed? All right, it's just you, Councilmember Bloom? All right. Yeah, who hired me? I'll get it down. I'll get it down. All right, motion carries. So we now move to the unfinished business. We have council committee assignments, liaisons. You have that sheet in front of you. I think I had the opportunity to discuss with every council member the assignments that I wished to make. These assignments are an important part of how we represent the city and maintain strong communication with our partner agencies and advisory bodies. Over the past few weeks, I reviewed all the current assignments, and now that we have a full council, I prepared the document in front of you. A sincere effort was made to try to accommodate individual requests wherever possible, also while ensuring responsibilities were distributed as fairly and as equitably as possible across council. So please contact me directly if you have any questions. We do not have any other new business, so this is the second public comment period. I would invite anyone present that wishes to make a comment to come up to the podium and kindly state your name and address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Seeing none, I will turn to anyone attending virtually that would like to make a comment. If so, please raise your virtual hand. City Clerk will unmute you and you'll have 3 minutes to make your comments. Please state your name and city of residence. You may also press *9 in order to raise your hand via telephone. I see no one online with a raised hand. Stephanie, do you see anyone?
I do not see anyone, no.
All right. We'll now go to staff and council announcements, reports, and comments. Staff members, Mr. Slade, I'll start with you.
Just real quick, so we have I'm not going to steal Eric's thunder, but you'll be here next Tuesday night for a joint planning commission city council workshop. Wear your Sunday best. I'm going to be taking your photo. So visit Tri-Cities, the Ironman. They did, and the first one they did in 2024, they had a big poster board that they framed and they had all the participants signed, and that's at Visit Tri-Cities. Kevin Lewis gave us the 2025 one, so it's sitting in my office. We're going to hang it up somewhere I don't know where we're going to hang it up, but they've asked for a photo op. So we're going to bring it to council at the workshop. So I think your workshop's 5:30, so if you can come about 10 minutes early, we'll do a group photo up here with the city of West Richland with that big poster board. It's probably 4 by 5. It's huge with, I think there's 3,000 participants that signed it. So it's pretty cool that they gave it to us. So we'll get some photos, Visit Tri-Cities. We'll use it as a photo op and more PR for this coming year's Ironman. So that's it.
Mendenhall.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members, and residents. It's that time of year again where the city is doing the city annual survey. So we're going out and asking the same questions we've been asking, trying to see how we're doing, getting information from you on what you like, what you don't like, trying to get some intel on how it really feeds into the council's budgeting, council's decision-making, and things of that nature. So we've been advertising on Facebook and social media. We have it on our website. We've sent it out in the utility mailer. We're also going to be sending out a nice little postcard to all the residents, just to make sure that we capture all of the residents and not just those that pay a utility bill. And then we'll have a QR code at the library and here at City Hall so people can scan that. Take the survey and inform your council on where you all sit on all the different topics city related. There is a special question. We do throw a couple special questions in there. We've had some from, cannabis to parks or whatnot. This year, we are asking residents about fireworks. So I know that's a explosive topic, pun intended, but we definitely want to hear from our community. So please pass the word along. Let them know that we want to hear about fireworks and their position on fireworks. The questions are set up fairly well, I think, as far as where they stand on it, what they think should be done. It also educates them on what the standard protocols and rules are about fireworks, so that if they're complaining about the fireworks that are happening when the Seahawks win this football game, for instance, those are illegal. They shouldn't be fired off, but people do it anyway. They usually fire it off too early, too late in the season or at night. So that information is in the survey, educating on what the rules are, and then asking at what level they would prefer to see changes, if they want to see changes at all. So there's a variety of selections there for them to inform council so that they can do their workshopping and conversations and direction on where the city should go with all of this. So that's my report for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Mendenhall. Council members. I'll start with Councilmember Stoker, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Rink. So, Mr. Mendenhall, refresh my memory. So we've had a special question on fireworks before on our survey. And so I think this is the first topic where we've come around a second time. Can you also refresh me too on what are, besides cannabis, what number of survey is this?
This is the third annual survey.
Third.
Yeah. So we've got 2 years.
We had cannabis and we had
Fourth.
fireworks.
Oh, this is our fourth. That's right. This is our fourth. So we've done parks, the communication. Thank you. Yep. Communication was one that council wanted to know, like, how do you want to be communicated with? And so there was a variety of selections that they could pick from.
Okay, so when was the last time we asked the firework question? Because I felt like it was last year, but
It was
maybe
it was the first one.
It was the very
Very first one had cannabis and fireworks in it all at once. We went full bore right into it, asked big, huge questions right up front.
Okay.
Councilmember Moran.
Thank you very much. So on the 20th, I attended the Benton Franklin Council of Governments meeting. And the next meeting for Benton Franklin Council of Governments is going to be, again, the 20th, but this time in March. It is going to be virtual as always, so starting at 10 a.m. And you can go to their website to get the information on how to join that meeting. Yep, that's all I got.
Councilmember Fetto.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. One of my committee assignments, I've been on the board for Visit Tri-Cities since I came on council. So, well, Rich Bloom when he left. And which Buell? I was looking at him and, yeah, when Buell left. Anyway, so speaking of Ironman, on Wednesday, we got the survey data back from the participants. Overall net promoter score, the global average is 56. This race got 75. Overall satisfaction was 94. The global average is 87. But a couple of the big numbers, 90% of those who participated traveled from outside of 150 miles, and 70% of those stayed in hotels. Average total day spend per participant was over $400 each. And that's doesn't include their families, that doesn't include their assistants, their trainers. So I know it's kind of an inconvenience, especially for us as we shut down streets, but it's a huge boom to the Tri-City economy based on how much money comes in. I think we're at almost $8 million this year from this race alone, 7.5 last year. And we're currently working on the extension of the contract. It was a 3-year agreement. Ironman's thrilled to be here. Visit Tri-Cities, and the Tri-Cities community is thrilled to have them. So we're working on extending that contract. But what this says to me is we need a hotel so we can get some of that TPA money, get some of those people staying here, visiting our restaurants, spend their money in West Richland. So I sit next to either Vijay Patel or Jerry Beach, both from A1 Hospitality, and I keep talking up the corner on Van Giesen and Keene about the gateway to wine country and how great it would be to have a hotel there. A party bike to people to get those 8-person bikes to ride down to Sunset and hit all the wineries and ride their bike back. And but we really need a hotel. And but these are just happen to, as Roscoe said, that we got these numbers on Wednesday. Also, Easter egg hunt is on April 4th. We are literally 30 days away from, actually less because there's only 28 days this month, from the Easter egg hunt on Saturday, April 4th at Flat Top Park. We'll start at 10 a.m. We'll be there at 7 setting up. So if anybody wants to help out, we've got about 20,000 eggs to drop in 4 different age categories. So if anybody's interested in coming out and helping on a Saturday morning, we'd appreciate it. That's up. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Fetto. Oh, Councilmember Stoker.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, I did forget something. The survey kind of shocked it out of my mind, but I did want to thank you for the proclamation. Reading is one of my favorite pastimes, and I used to read to my children a lot, even when they were teenagers. I read to them. It was a bit of an arm twist and a pull to get them to do it, but I mean, I remember reading Ivanhoe by Sir Walter Scott. I read one of Tom Clancy's, Cardinal de Kremlin. If you ever read a Tom Clancy, you know those things are very detailed. And for kids, that probably went over their head, but hey, I had a good time. Even some Louis L'Amour's. So I certainly appreciate it. I really do like the proclamation. I wish the Daughters of the American Revolution had stuck around a little longer because I would have liked to thank them. We do have a little public library on our property as well, so I hope maybe one of their books got into ours. But I do encourage everyone to take advantage of it. And reading helps set an example to your children and others as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Councilmember Stoker. I just have one announcement. One of the things that I wanted to try and do when I was running for election is increase outreach to the city. So I have already talked with Chief Fry. He and I will be available for an informal get-together, question answer, whatever you want to call it, on April 18th, which is a Saturday morning. We'll start at about 9:30 or so. I'm still picking a venue, but it will be a coffee shop within the city of West Richland. And the chief and I will be available just to meet those who would care to meet, hear complaints from those who wish to complain, but also suggestions from those who wish to suggest. So it's my goal to try and do those once a quarter with some of our key staff members that have to interact with the city on a regular basis. So more information will be in the utility billing announcement. And I'll share more details with regard to the venue. So that is all I have. So we will now adjourn at 6:38 p.m. Thank you all.